deck of readings, beautiful earthlings. My name is Star. If you are new here, I don't know how you found me, but I am super grateful to have you. And if you are returning, y'all the real MVP, you already know. So today, my friends, I wanted to talk to you guys about my Ancestor tarot deck. So if you guys have been following me on TikTok, you already know what this is. You don't have to watch this again. It's going to be like beating a dead horse, but I just realized I haven't talked about it on YouTube or really anywhere else except TikTok because I'm so like into the thick of it with TikTok right now, and you know, witch talk and tarot talk and astrology talk. So you know, that's why things go there first. So if you guys aren't following me on TikTok, that might be a good place for you to follow me if you like to keep up with my tarot stuff on a regular basis. I also do kind of random impromptu readings and like reviews and stuff over there. It's just a lot easier to do like 1-minute segments as opposed to, you know, full videos, but y'all already know what it is. If you don't want to be on TikTok, you don't have to be. You'll get it here eventually. So what I did for my Ancestor tarot deck, if you guys do not know, I did get this from Frankie the Chaotic Witch Aunt. I might have talked about it on here. If I did, I'm really sorry. I can't keep track of the things I've been saying lately. But Frankie had suggested in a very old video that if you need help communicating with your ancestors or deities, to let them choose a tarot deck or to assign them one. So luckily I did this back when I had a whole lot of energy to, you know, connect and everything, and I had gone through and let every entity that I worked with choose a tarot deck because you guys know I am in a very fortunate position. I have been gifted a lot of tarot and oracle decks. So I do have a tarot or oracle deck for every single entity that I work with, and my ancestors are no exception. So I have been very drawn to ancestor work lately, and I feel like it might be because some of you are having trouble with your ancestor work, and you guys know that this is about following me on my journey through tarot. So, you know, whenever I learn new things or I get new tools or stuff like that, I do like to talk to you guys about it so that maybe it will help some of you who need it. So I did, in fact, dedicate a tarot deck to my ancestors, and if you guys have been following my channel for a long time, it was my Centennial Enigma. That was a very hard thing for me to do because you guys know Enigma is my most closely bonded deck, and my ancestors said there's a reason you are most closely bonded with that deck. It's because you have a lot of work to do with it. We want it to be around for a long time, and we want to work with you with it. And you know, I asked the spirit of Enigma, and again, if you guys don't believe in any of this, just keep watching. I'll get to where I'm going eventually. But I did ask Enigma if it was okay for me to use it as my ancestor deck, because that meant writing all over it, and that meant not using it for anything else. And it did say this is what it was meant for. This is why we had that bond. It was kind of reiterating the same thing, that it was always meant for a higher purpose, and that's why I felt so close to it. So what we did to create the Ancestor tarot deck, this took a lot of work, weeks and weeks and weeks, and I feel like that might be why I'm so drained on top of, you know, all the stuff planetary that's going on. But it took weeks to do this, where every time I could, I would connect with my ancestors. So if you guys do not know how to connect with your ancestors, a good place to start is to get a white 7-day candle. Light it whenever you want to talk to them, or whenever you want to do readings with them, or even just venerate them. If you are so fortunate enough to have an altar or an ofrenda where you have their pictures up, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have. And you know, lighting candles is going to help you strengthen that connection, as well as giving them offerings. So ancestors typically like food offerings. Mine kind of dealt with rocks for a little bit because we worked with rocks with my rock casting set and now my rune casting set, and they were kind of dealing with me like, oh, I found a pretty rock, here you go. So then I got the candle, then we started doing incense, and now they have kind of upgraded to food. So that's a great place to start if you guys don't know how to start working with your ancestors, and definitely looking into your family lineage if you have the tools and the resources to do so. I know it's hard for some people to get a hold of your whole family tree or pictures or things like that, and I understand because I'm kind of in the same boat. But you know, anyways, you have to first understand why they want to work with you and why you want to work with them. So it's very important before doing something like this to establish a good connection with them. Lots of meditation, okay? Lots of meditation. Even if they come to you in your dreams, please understand that counts, okay? So I'm losing the light here real fast. But what we did was I would connect and pulled out the tarot deck. This is not it because they don't want me showing that one on camera anymore. But they essentially went through the files of my brain of what I know of these tarot cards, of what I know, the, you know, descriptions and the meanings and the keywords and the imagery and the hidden blah, 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 blah. They went through the files of what I know about that. I like to say that. I know some of you don't understand, but essentially that's what it felt like, where they were accessing my knowledge of the tarot, of the things that I have studied and researched about the tarot. And it literally, to me, it's like them going through a filing cabinet of looking through the information and taking what I know about the tarot and then taking the language that I speak and integrating it in such a fashion where we created messages for the upright and reverse of each of these cards. So this is not the normal Rider-Waite-Smith tarot anymore, okay? This is just happens to be what the messages are written on. So the meanings, I got a text message, sorry. The messages that I have on the backs of these cards do not particularly have anything to do with the tarot deck. Some might, but most of them don't. And some of these messages are like loving and nurturing. Some of them are really harsh and rude. And some of them are really like shadow work focused. And the point of why we did this, it was meant to be kind of like working with a family member, like a really cool uncle or really cool aunt, or even like your grandma or grandpa that you're really close with, talking to you about the hard things, about shadow work, about stuff like that, and really giving it to you straight and really telling you what you need to know. So I worked with, you know, after I did the deck, I worked with it a couple times myself, just me and them doing readings, and it really blew me away. So I asked them if I could recreate the messages of that deck for public use, for client readings. And they said yes. They said it would help a lot of people to get closure with either past loved ones or connecting with their ancestors and getting the guidance that they may either be ignoring from angels or deities or things that they just might not be aware of, especially if they don't want to work with angels and deities. So that's what this deck is. This is a recreation of my Ancestor deck. I did edit some of the messages to be a little bit more helpful. Some of them were just kind of like real stingy, like just meant to kind of knock me off my feet. And sometimes in a client reading, that's not very helpful. So I did kind of edit some of them with their permission. Of course, they said since this was not their deck, they didn't care about me sticking to the letter of each message. And they said that they trusted that I knew best of how to talk to people in client readings, and that it was okay to edit these messages the way that I saw fit. So I didn't edit too many of them. There were just a couple that I was like, that might not go over well in a client reading. And the whole point of a reading is not to piss off your client. It's to give them information that they need about their growth, right? So I started working with this deck with my groups, my Facebook groups, and even though some like messages might not resonate at first or the right way, there have been some that just blew me and the client so far out of the water. The reason that I call this a past loved one or ancestor deck is because it could be for people who like just lost a loved one or lost a loved one a couple years ago and have been waiting for a message or something like that. And, you know, the ancestors can help them connect with that. Or, you know, the ancestors can help them with clarity on a situation regarding a past loved one if that past loved one does not want to come to the surface for that reading. So the point of me telling you guys all of this is not just to like brag about my deck. It's to say, if you guys are having trouble with your ancestor work, with your ancestor readings, you have to keep trying. You have to keep finding ways that will work for you guys, especially if you're the type of person where like meditation is just too hard for you and you just can't do it very well and you can't quite hear them. Keep trying. Try different things. Try different divination methods. Try pendulum. Try fire scrying. Try smoke reading. Try, tarot cards. Try all the things until you find something that works, because all of the things that we've done up until this point helped me establish a very strong connection with them in order to get this deck moving, not only for myself, but for the tons of clients that it helps now. So I really, really hope that if you guys are having trouble with your ancestor communication, this helped you a little bit to figure that out, helped to answer some questions. Please understand, I am not like a professional. I'm just telling you guys what I have learned along the way, okay? So I really hope that if you guys made it to the end, you liked this video. I really hope you guys give me a big thumbs up. That helps me out so very much. Don't forget, you can check out my link tree in the bottom of the description box. And I really hope that wherever you are when this video reaches you, my friends, you have a beautiful, wonderful day. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Namaste.